Alright, it's time for an announcement of TBR Unwrapping. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to share a new project that I am doing. And I know it's been a while. I took a little break, but I am back, and I have been working. Actually, one of the things I've been doing on while I haven't been making videos is wrapping up all my unread books. So what is this whole thing? I first saw this over at Sylwia, Wish Fulfillment's channel, and she's been doing this for a couple of years, where she wrapped up all of her unread books, and she picked a different color wrapping paper per genre, and that's how she decides what she is going to read. And then more recently, I saw Anita of Anita Lind. Hi, Anita. And she decided to do this as well, and I was kind of like, I just didn't really realize that you can do that. And I'm like, I wonder if I would like to do that. And she asked that at the end of her video, and I'm like, I would like to do that, thank you. So I actually decided to do that. So what I have done is I didn't go with wrapping paper. I actually used magazines and some books. And some calendars, so stuff that I use for art. I have a whole stack of stuff, like source images to use for doing art projects and collaging and journaling and all that good stuff. So I have all of this stuff, and I'm like, well, why don't I just pick a color per genre as opposed to a paper per genre, and use what I have, and I can start right now. That was part of it. That was part of it, going out to get paper. I was like, I have to wait. So I wanted to start right away. So that's what I did. So I picked different colors per genre, and I picked red for Canadian. The yellow and orange ones are part of my Those Books project. If we go up, the white ones are plays, poetry, and collections. The gray, or actually sort of black and white pictures, are catch-all fiction. Anything that's sort of not genre fiction, so contemporary, historical, something that is a classic but not part of the Those Books project. The pink ones are romance and erotica. And then if we go down a level to the bottom, purple is fantasy, black is science fiction, and then back to center, this whole shelf is nonfiction. And so nonfiction, I have my blue nonfiction and my green nonfiction. The green ones are more sort of spirituality based, divination, tarot, that kind of stuff. And then the blue ones are all everything else nonfiction. So it could be memoir, or like finances, or like there's other stuff. I read nonfiction. What do I read nonfiction about? Okay, we'll leave that to be more surprising, because I can't think of the other nonfictions. So those are the categories and the colors that I went with. And part of the reason I decided to do this, I've tried some other systems in the past, including the TBR jar, which I really enjoyed, but I realized that I do have priority categories. So these are part genre and part priority categories. Like Canadian books, it's important to me to read Canadian books, and if I stuck with the TBR jar, I could pick out 40 books before I get to a Canadian one, and I want to read one a month. So this way I can sort of like have the random factor as well as hit my priority categories. And some of the projects I'm doing, like the Those Books project, which I started in 2014, which is I cobbled together a whole bunch of different lists of classics and zeitgeist and pop culture referenced type stuff. So anyway, so those are all the priority categories that are important to me. And it was really interesting to see which had tons of books. Like Those Books collection, like there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are really big. And then I didn't realize how much nonfiction I had. Like, it's a whole shelf out of 4 shelves. So easily 25%, and it's actually more than that, because I have a bunch of sort of 10 books that didn't make the shelf. So anyway, that's how I organized it. Why don't we actually get to the unwrapping? Because that's like the fun part, right? And now I asked my sister Jamie to pick the books, because some of them, because of the size, like I can kind of remember what they were, and so I wanted to be totally surprised. And so I asked her, would you come over and pick up books for me? And she said yes, of course. And so that is how how she picked my first set, and it's 9 books, and it is 1 from each genre. So let's get this started. And she said, I asked her, she said there was one that she caught her eye from across the room, and it was this one, the blue one. So I'm going to pick the blue one first. It was actually really fun to pick papers. This one has some green in it, so I put a star on it. Some of them I felt like weren't super clear, so I put a star, or I wrote the color somewhere. Like, you know. Okay, so blue, nonfiction. This is my largest category. I have like 27 books in nonfiction. Rip to the camera, Shannon. It's upside down, that's what I can tell. All right, Dolly. I thought this is what it was because it's a square shape, and I think this is my only square shape book. So this is an art book about Salvador Dali, the painter, who is one of my favorite artists. I can't wait to read this. I'm sure it won't take too long. I think it's just got a whole bunch of paintings and then a little write-up on it. And so I think I'll be able to get through this. I think I'll be able to get through this pretty easily and pretty enjoyably, because it's not always about getting through. It's like seeing Cheaters. Look at those colors and look at that weird imagery. It's awesome. He's a genius. I know he's also totally egotistical, but you know, I think he's a genius too. I do. Okay, next book. White. Okay, so White is plays, poetry, and collections. It's one of my smaller categories. I only have 8. Oh wow, I really taped this up well. I only have 8 books in this category, but I'm working on reading Shakespeare, so I have a fair amount of Shakespeare. I hope I didn't spoil that. I don't know if this is going to be. Yeah, it is. Oh, okay. The Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare. So there we go. I haven't read a Shakespeare yet this month. This one is actually quite thin. I actually thought this book was too thin to be Shakespeare, but apparently not. So this is definitely one that I haven't read or seen, but I have seen a couple of performances. Is this the one? I think this is the one with Shylock. The playing Shakespeare has Lancelot. Maybe I am complete. No, Shylock. So this is the one with Shylock. I have seen a couple of performances of Shylock, of some of the key speeches by both David Suchet and Patrick Stewart. I was going to say one of his character names, Patrick Stewart. So yeah, okay, great. So that'll be my Shakespeare pick for the month. Awesome. I'm picking these sort of by size because I wanted to hold them up to the camera, and so I didn't want them to topple over. So it's not really any private. Okay, so this is gray, or my black and white ones, which are, this is catch-all fiction. So this could be contemporary, this could be a classic that's not part of the Those Books project, it could be historical fiction, other kinds of fiction that aren't genre fiction. So this one I genuinely have no idea what it is. It's a paperback. I have a fair amount of these. I was surprised. I have 15, including one sequel. I'll talk about sequels later, if I can get to it. Oh gosh, I saw the name of the author. Okay, The Best to Be My Nicholas Sparks. I totally forgot I had this. Okay, I tend to watch Nicholas Sparks movies based on Nicholas Sparks novels more than read the books. And actually, have I seen this? Have I seen this? I don't think so. No, I have not seen this. It's the movie tie-in edition with pictures. But I remember seeing the trailer and liking what it looked like, so... Okay, so I'm going to have the actors in my head when I read this, but this will be my catch-all fiction. Catch-all fiction. So, okay, black is science fiction, and see, this was so much fun because I got to pick some pictures, so this is like Darth Vader. It was fun. Going by color was so much fun. I have one idea of what this might be, and this is not it. Oh, okay. I forgot about this one. Okay, A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr. I picked this up a couple years ago because it was part of the Sword and Laser book club pick, but I ended up getting the book after the month they read it, so it just sort of faltered on the shelf. So this is perfect. This is perfect because I totally want to read it. I am curious about it. Okay, let's stick with genre-ing and purple, which is fantasy. I have a huge amount of fantasy. I have 22 fantasy books, 7 of which are sequels. So I really got to get cracking on them so that I can not only read the books, but get to the sequels. So maybe this is something that has a sequel. Oh wow, I used a lot of tape. I didn't, when I was wrapping them, I wasn't looking at the books. I put them under the table and I just taped a bunch of pages together. And so I couldn't see what it was when I was reading it. That's more magazine. Still not knowing. Oh, okay, I figured it out. Okay, wow, I really taped this in here. Okay, The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. I bought this a couple years ago. It was part of my 2012 book to film challenge choice, because it was optioned for a film. I haven't heard anything in a couple years. And it's got really cool, the water horses. Once I heard water horses, I was fine with that. So this is YA. I think there's a fair amount of YA in my fantasy section. I don't have lots of YA generally, but I think actually most of it might be in fantasy. So I'm really curious to read this. I did read Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater, and I wasn't a huge fan, so I'm hoping that I really enjoyed this one, and it's standalone, as far as I know. I like standalone, so yay! Awesome! Okay, so going green. So these are, I went all Gomorrah on this one. All Gomorrah all the time. So the green ones are my Nonfiction Spirituality, so type of divination stuff. So let's see what, I kind of wanted to save the paper a little bit. I thought I might make some bookmarks, but we'll see. It's mostly just on the floor. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's see what this one is. Oh, awesome! The Urban Pagan by Patricia Telesco. This is perfect. I'm really curious. I bought this years ago, and I'm sure I read some of it, but I didn't read all of it, as was the case for a lot of the books on my Nonfiction Spirituality shelf, which is why I thought, hey, this is a good time. Like, do I want to keep these? You know? And this is the perfect first pick, so really curious. Really curious to check it out. Yay! Oh my god, I think I got all of them at the Omega Center. Life before the internet, folks. Life before the internet. Okay, so here is my pink book that Jamie picked up for me, and my pink books are, this one was the easiest color to match. I went with, for pink, I went romance and erotica, so we will see what this one is. This one's quite big and has several layers. Let's just keep, oh, I almost dropped it. I can't see it. Oh, okay, so Anais Nin's Delta of Venus and Little Bird. So this one's 2 books. So I wonder, should I read one and then rewrap it? I'll remember which one it is. No, I'm going to go for broke and go for both. It's 400 pages. I can do that. And I've had this one a fair amount. I think I started reading it during a readathon semi-recently, but then switched to something else. Okay, so that is my romance pick. Oh, the pile! I put them up by size, and now they're in danger of toppling over. Just one moment. I don't want them to fall. Okay, 2 books left. Canadian. I went red for my Canadian books. Maybe I should have showed the paper a little bit longer. Maybe I'll try to do that next time. Let me know. Do you want to see the paper a little bit longer? Canadian. This one's smaller, which is a bit nice. Which is nice, because Canadian books can take me a long time to read. Wow, where can I go? Here we go. Yes, I wrapped them up with some comics. Comics that I've had for over 20 years. Oh, my floor is such a mess. Oh my gosh. Okay. Keep going. Don't want to damage the book or anything. Don't recognize the... Oh, I know what this is. Alright. Okay. The Lives of Girls and Women by Alice Munro. This actually I have read. I read it in high school, but I picked up my own copy a couple years ago, and now it will be time to read it. I already have a bookmark. Maybe I already started it in 2014. I'm really excited about this one. I'm really curious to see how I feel about it. I'm sure I'm still going to love it, but how I feel about it, you know, later in life. We'll see. All right, 1 book left. 1 book left. Woohoo! I love this one. I was really happy with the spine. I was really happy with that one. So this is yellow and orange, and so that means it is my Those Books book. So these are usually heftier titles. So it's fine. I think I'm a little worried with a really colorful. Oh no, that's still paper. That's a crab. It's more. So much tape. So much tape. And the back. That's super exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is double the fun. Okay, so Half-Blood Blues by Essie. Okay, Eduguen. This is on those books list. It was also Canadian, so I forgot to say that. If some books have, you know, this is Canadian, but because it's on the those books list, it goes into those books section. So some of the books could fit into more than one category. So 2 Canadian books. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, am I gonna try and hold these all up? It's got to happen, right? It's got to happen. That's the. Ah! Oh my gosh! I can't with the glare. I can't even tell. Am I getting them all in? Okay. Urban Pagan to Canticle of Leibowitz. So many books. Have you read any of these books? Let me know your thoughts. And would you do this project yourself? Because I had so much fun pulling all of my unread books together, picking out colors, color paper, wrapping them all up. It was a lot of work. I will say that. It was a lot of work. It was totally worth it. I am totally loving it. I am so excited to dive into these books. I just can't wait. So thank you so much for watching. It is good to be back. I can't wait to get reading. I have lots to choose from. 9 books. What should I read first? What should I read first? Give me your thoughts. What should I read first? I feel like Merchant of Venice and the Dolly book are probably likely first choices because they're short. Maybe I should pick one short and one long. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching.